for our rights. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. Solidarity forever. We shall always fight for our rights. Victory for us. There is victory for us. In the struggle for Africa, there is victory for us. Forward ever, backward never. In the struggle for Nigeria. Africa. Take it back. Action. Thank you so much for coming here today. Please have your seats, please. Thank you. I understand this is the okay. This is the Lagos branch of the AC. This is just even small Lagos, not the entire Lagos state. This is a small part of the representation of Lagos. And I'm also excited to hear that our party leaders from Oyo State, Ogun State, Kwara State, Osun State, Ekiti, Rivers State, Cross River, they are all here. Take it back. All of us are united, absolutely united in our desire not to be cowed by any machination of people in government or outside government. I told our members a long time ago that after the election, they will come for us. In fact, they came for us before the election. In this Lagos, our members were arrested for pasting my posters. Their case is still in court. The people who destroy posters in the APC, they were never arrested. The people who paste posters and destroy posters in PDP were never arrested. After that, everywhere we go, we were physically attacked by agents of the APC or the PDP. But we withstood all that. After that, when it was time to engage in a debate on television, we were brutally excluded from the debate. We went to court, the courts turned their backs on us. But the good news is that if they are after us, there must be something special about us. And that is what I'm happy about. And I'm happy about our rebranding. That is why we are wearing berets today. We have rebranded the party to the original idea of the party is a militant organization that is here to liberate Nigeria. Yes. We don't have any apologies about it, that we are a revolutionary party. The first of its type on the continent of Africa. And we are not going to be saying that we will wait until another election cycle to be rigged out of the election before we take over our country. But in taking over our country, we must first of all take back our party. Those who did not vote for us in February, they are already regretting it. Those who have turned their back on us before then, they are regretting it. But those who have been standing with us are here and have achieved a lot. If you are from Mushin, in the last few months, the respect that went to the people who are fighting NEPA in Mushin went from 0 to 150% because of the resistance and fought against the Lagos State government because of the situation of the road. And they will suspend all the discourse because of our struggle. But we should stop fighting small struggles. The big struggle is the struggle of a revolution that Nigeria needs now. We should stop fighting people who are selling cassava and bread. We should fight the kidnappers of our future who are based in Abuja, or the ones who are based in Lagos. You saw what happened last week. It took the killing of the daughter of a Afenifere leader before they realized that people need security between Lagos and Orange. If they didn't kill the daughter of the man, they would not have sent the vice president to go and promise that soldiers will now be protecting us. But that broad negligence of the security of the people of this country must earn the government a sack from us. I am telling you, and I'm standing in front of you, and the world is watching, except there is a revolution in this country, we are wasting our time even with elections. Yes. Even the bourgeois in Nigeria, the regular people, the Atiku and the rest of them, have realized that you can't win election even in their own creation, within their own system. They know that the courts can no longer protect them. That is why they have become emergency activists. Now they are talking as if they didn't know that this country was rotting. They are behaving as if they didn't hear us when we were campaigning between February last year and February this year, when we are saying that Nigeria has gone to the dogs. When we went to Zamfara and told them, if not, they will kill all of us. It's a matter of time before they get to all of us. But before they kill us, let us liberate ourselves. Because if we liberate this country, we can live freely in it and happily in it. Both old and young. And we have demonstrated it by talking. Time for action is now.
Take it back! Action!
The reason why I'm not focusing much on what the judge did last week against our party is that is what these judges do. They collect money and they sell judgment to the highest buyer or bidder. We are not buying judgment. We are insisting on our rights to organize politically. And that cannot come from a judge. It can only come from the party members. It's the party members that will determine their chairman, not a court of law. Even if a court of law imposes a president on the country and the people of the country say they don't want the president, the president has to go. So I'm not going to waste your time discussing what happened in court last week. This was organized as an organized attack against us, so that they can destabilize and distract the party. This is distraction, so that the party will be talking every day about going to court. Let me tell you, just to show to you that they have planned it. The judge gave a judgment last week, read the judgment in court. Our lawyer applied for a certified true copy of the judgment. The registrar called the lawyer today, this morning, that the judgment cannot be ready until October. That they are still doing grammar check on the judgment.
For 3 months.
That they are correcting the mistakes they made. Yes. The reason is they know that we will appeal. They don't want us to go on appeal until they are lucky, or the stooges that they set up will do their own. We do their own convention, so forth. Yes, this is what the PDP is trying to do to us. But even if we win and we go to the Court of Appeal, they also own the Court of Appeal. If you go to the Supreme Court, Wike owns the Supreme Court. He just won a case against from the Supreme Court today. So, except, and as you see with Osun State, except they are sure that this party is a different party, is not one of the parties, then even the judges will sit tight, because judges are also members of our society. And when they see that people don't accept nonsense, justice will only come when people seek for justice. That is why sometimes when lawyers win cases in court, they don't understand why. It is the nature of their clients that help them to win the case. Because in Nigeria legal system, for you to win any case, you must hire 2 lawyers. One the one that knows the judge, and the one that knows the law. In most cases, even the ones that know the law, they no longer worry about the law. They try to become friends with the judge or the judges. So we are dealing with a historical situation. Every social movement of our own time in the world, not Nigeria, must face this kind of assault. It is part of the requirements of becoming a legitimate, organic social movement. If you have not gone through this, you are not ready for the fight. And for someone like me, I have faced this for 30 years consistently. When I was in the university, judges were telling me that I cannot graduate. The vice chancellor told me I cannot graduate. The registrar told me I cannot graduate. And they tried their hands on it. But today I have graduated. I did not graduate from the university alone. I graduated into the world. And the world has come to recognize my struggle. The reason why all of you are sitting here today is because you recognize the importance of what we have done together in the past. It's not me that is making you sit down here today. It is our shared values and the respect we have for our individual and collective struggle to save this country. Don't make any mistake about it. This is a struggle of our life, and this is the most important time in Nigeria. I was saying it, I thought it was a joke during the election, that Nigeria is about to enter into voicemail. You know, if you don't do something now, Nigeria has now entered not only voicemail, but it has also entered into text message. It has become a dormant entity. The country is basically lacking government. Yes. And because the #1 duty of government is to protect citizens. Whenever citizens cannot be protected, then there is no government in the country. And I would demonstrate it to you by telling you a short story of what happened to Buhari. His in-law was kidnapped. The entire commander-in-chief of the armed forces could not rescue the guy. Buhari and members of their family had to contribute money and send to the kidnappers. I'm telling you this, you can go and check. The man spent over a month, I think, in the kidnappers' den. It was when they contributed the money sent to the kidnappers that they now did an arranged rescue amongst themselves, you know. That one our police used to do. You know, they left the man, then they ran to the man and started demonstrating, like, you know, like what they do with guns. But today, they cannot tell you who the kidnappers are. So if the president of Nigeria cannot rescue his in-law, then he cannot rescue anybody in this country. Are you hearing me? So you should understand why this struggle or this time is very important in our lives. And I don't want to take you on too much rigmarole. Like our colleagues here have told me that we will match a little bit with our new rebranded cap. Yes. And for those who have been questioning why we are using berets, because it has something to do with secret societies. No, this is not our own. We don't subscribe to secret societies. But beret is a sign of militancy. Yes. We have been wearing face cap. They don't respect us. Maybe now that they know that this is not a joke. And if you look at social movements across the world, and you don't have to wear beret to be a secret court member. All of them that are wearing agbada all over the place. The Buccaneers who are destroying the country. They don't have to wear berets. You know? The Boko Haram leaders, they don't wear berets. They wear babariga.
They have money making machine money.
The herdsmen too. They don't wear berets, but they kill more than anybody. The SARS, they don't even wear berets. Even though police is supposed to be wearing berets, SARS don't have time for berets. Yes. They wear slippers and they kill you. It's still the same. Sometimes they wear t-shirts. Sometimes even SARS don't even wear anything. SARS they wear agbada, they go put AK-47. This is our own brand to announce to the world that we are not going to allow ourselves to be taken for granted. Enough is enough. And that enough is enough. As they say in the Lorry, Otoge. You heard yesterday that Tinubu went to Baba Fashoranti's house, Bola Tinubu. He said the death of his daughter was her destiny. Why is it not his own destiny that all of them also die like that? Yes, if it is not your destiny, why are you driving around in a bulletproof car? Why are you flying around over the bad roads? But it is not our business. They are insulting themselves. Because they brought Nigeria to the condition that it is. And I don't want us to be confused. When Tinubu is fighting other Afenifere people, don't join them. They are the same. They are the same family members. And they have their way of resolving their differences. Tinubu is also telling you what everybody has been complaining talking about it. That's he's from different places. Yes. There are people who said he's from Borno as well. So he's demonstrating to you that he's the man that you have been, the rumors about him are true. Yes. But it doesn't matter where they come from. And I don't want us to limit our conversation to herdsmen. Because herdsmen is a generic name for every criminal right now that is operating as bandits. Herdsmen is a generic name for even Yoruba people who are kidnappers, or Igbos who are kidnappers or robbers, or Ibibios who are kidnappers or robbers, or politicians who are, all of them are herdsmen. You will find out that even people who are not from the north these days, they dress like Fulanis because it's the only way you can respect people when they want to kidnap. Yes. So that's Fulani kidnapper, you just respect yourself. It's when you get into their camp that you discover that they are speaking Yoruba. So don't let us get carried away by some of this characterization of crime. What Nigeria is facing is that we have incompetent leaders who don't care about us. And if they don't care about us, we must care about ourselves. And the only way to care about ourselves is to force these leaders out of power, into permanent retirement, so that our country can serve us. Because the country right now is serving these few minorities, less than 1%. There was a report the other day that I think 25 Nigerians are richer than the country of Nigeria itself. Less than 25 of them. They have more money than the Nigerian nation. But they didn't get the money by hard work. They didn't farm. They didn't fish. They are not even rearing cows. It is the same Nigerian money that was transferred into their individual control. And Nigeria is bankrupt as we speak. Nigeria borrows to pay salaries as we speak. Last 3 months, Nigeria has borrowed over 500 billion naira. But don't forget that before then, the central bank governor, as you saw in that audio that was released, also stole 500 billion. Which is people at the central bank, yes. Yes. So these are the economic herdsmen. They are more dangerous than the Fulani herdsmen that we are hearing about. And they don't steal small money. They don't kidnap small money. They kidnap in billions. And they hold the rest of us to ransom. AAC, take it back! AAC, take it back! Yes, our meeting today is to announce to those people who are trying to kidnap our party that you cannot kidnap our party. It's not possible. Party herdsmen. The party herdsmen who are trying to kidnap our party, to announce to them that we have ended the whole conversation around the ownership or control of the party. AAC belongs to AAC members. around the country. And we have heard from a lot of our chairmen in the last 24 hours who said they are doing their own solidarity events across the country as well. And we are going to have a congress and a lot of activities because, let us say this to you, even if we have a party and there are allocations of titles and names, if the party don't have programmatic relevance to the people, the party is as good as dead. Yes. There are 91 political parties in Nigeria. Exactly. They don't have internal crisis, but you don't hear about them because they are only waiting for the next election, or they are waiting to join another coalition where they distribute, the 50,000 coalitions that they do. Our party must have programmatic relevance. In fact, the legitimacy of our party will be dependent on our programmatic relevance to the people of Nigeria. That is as simple as that. The moment we have programmatic relevance, it will dawn on them, the reality will dawn on them that this party has come to stay. And that's what I want us to focus on. I want the argument about who is a member of AAC, who is the leader of AAC to end by today. The next action should be, how is AAC relevant to the hungry person in Zamfara, the person who doesn't have likes in Mushin, the person who is faced with kidnapping in Rivers, the workers who are not getting paid their salaries, the students who cannot get bursaries, the road travelers who cannot make it to their destination, our market women who cannot find even a store to sell whatever they want to sell, our sick and infirm who cannot find hospitals to get any form of treatment from, and those of our young people who have no employment no matter how hard they try. Those are the issues that are facing us. These little internal wranglings here and there, they're just distractions because they know that they can distract us with this for another 4 years. Let me just break it down to you. The reason why we are getting this is that they have looked at it and known that in another 4 years, there's no party that can contest against AAC presidential candidates. And they want to destroy AAC before then so that we won't even have a party on whose platform to contest. Simple. That is what they are doing. So if you follow their own trajectory, if you follow their trajectory, you do case for 4 years. You just be going today, come tomorrow. But the moment the party has programmatic relevance and respect and acceptance across the country, we become the only party of the people and the party of revolution. That is what I've come here to say to you today. And I want to thank you. We have been advised that we'll take a small walk, right?
Take it back from the armed robber.
Yes. It's going to be peaceful and we'll just march, sing, when we reach Maryland, we'll dispatch from there. But be on standby because very soon we might need to do a nationwide protest. Very soon. Yes. Nationwide. One day we have to shut down this country. And we are planning it. And when we are saying it, we mean it. Because as we are here, we know the DSS, police, all of them are represented here. You are welcome. We are telling you that it's our country, and when we are tired, no police, no army can stop us.
Yes. Nothing can discourage us.
And those of them who say that, oh, where's Sowore? Sowore is not in the country. I'm always here. And the person that is speaking to you is not Jubril from Sudan.
I don't see like here very well.
This is not Sowore from Sudan. Yes. My name is Omoyele Sowore from Ondo State. Yes. Take it back. Now we have to find out.
Take it back.
Ẹ má bí ẹ̀yàn ọ̀gá wa. Mo rí pé ọ̀rọ̀ tẹ́ ẹ̀ sọ ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú ni. Bí mo dẹ̀ ṣe ń wo gbogbo àwọn tó wà níbí àti àwọn exco ní gbogbo state exco, national exco tó wà níbẹ̀. Ẹ jọ ní grassroots bóyá local government ward zone àwọn wo lẹ ní láṣojú yín. For example, Lápapá táwa tiwa èmi ò kò sí ẹgbẹ́ ACC yìí mi.
Ẹ̀yin náà àti filọ́lẹ̀ ọwọ́ ẹ̀rù mama.
Community làwa bá wá bí. Mo dẹ̀ rí pé gbogbo ọ̀rọ̀ tá à ń sọ̀rọ̀ lé lórí látàárọ̀ ọ̀rọ̀ òṣèlú ni. Ṣóyé ṣẹ́rí Ọlọ́run á kún wa pẹ̀lú wa o. Ìjà tẹ́ ń jà yìí Ọlọ́run á tì yín lẹ́yìn ẹ̀rí. Fún gbogbo wa ni kì í ṣe fún ẹnìkan. Anybody mọ̀ pé orí ń ta wá. Èmi tí mo wà yìí APC ni mí. Àìṣòdodo ẹ̀ṣẹ̀ ni o. Community ló gbé mi débí. Ṣóyé APC ni mí. Ṣùgbọ́n ní ìsìn bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe ń sọ yìí ọ̀rọ̀ state level federal level là ń gbọ́ àgbọ̀ local government level àgbọ̀ wọ́ọ̀dù débi pa máa sọ pé sóòrù ẹ jọ àwọn wo lẹ ní láṣojú tẹ́ ẹ bá fi ìdí ẹgbẹ́ yìí múlẹ̀ káàkiri local government èyí tó ṣe pàtàkì náà
AAC, take it back. Mami, ẹlẹ́nu dákun ẹ má wọ̀. Ìtì bẹ́ẹ̀ sọ ni pé. AAPC. Celebrate. But this is our own organic response to the fraud that was being perpetrated in Abuja. And that's also to announce to Nigerians that beyond the issue of party internal rights, Nigeria has a major problem. And that is leadership at this time, that nobody is secure in this country. There's hunger, starvation, unemployment. These distractions should not take us away from our original programmatic plan to save this country and to force a revolution to happen.